What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ProRevenge. Alright, this story's called Lady Wanted to Get Drinks Free, so I made them worth that price. I'm a bartender, and the area I work in is upper class and petty as hell. As I tell people all the time, I don't go out here, I just work here. One random night, not too long ago, I'm making drinks at the well for servers to take to their customers at their tables while the other bartenders handle our bar top guests. It's the middle of our rush, and one of my servers comes up with the drink 1/4 full and sets it down, saying the customer hates it and was demanding a different drink. Specifically, they wanted a vodka mojito. I was too busy to put up a fight, and the poor girl looked run down already from the night, so I went ahead and made it, even though it was obvious the woman was just looking for free crap. The server runs the drink to the table, and it happens to be the table closest to my well, so I can see and hear everything. She sets it down and hurries off to another table, waving her down, and I watch as this woman slams the drink until there is nothing but mint and ice left in the glass, with maybe half an ounce of liquid in the bottom, then turns around and grabs the server again. I specifically asked for this with vodka. Yes, ma'am, it is. I know what vodka tastes like. This is clearly rum. Tell your bartender to make it right this time. I'm not paying for this. The server tried to say something but was rudely cut off and told to get it remade again. So she picks up the glass, walks over to me. I'm so sorry, OP, she starts, and I immediately tell her it's okay. I saw the whole thing. Girl, don't worry, I got you. So I remade the woman's drink. One virgin mojito coming up. Nothing but mint, lime, simple, and soda water. I cannot explain the satisfaction we both felt when that drink hit the table and we watched this woman sip it and go, now that is vodka. You get what you pay for. Edit, since people are wondering, she ended up getting one drink comped off, that drink being the virgin one. She paid for the others. Haha. Hey, morally unambiguous revenge against a snobby McSnobberson. I dig it. Okay, so this story is called Neighbor Kids Try Picking on My Brother. I dumped poop on them. Obligatory. This happened years ago when we were both kids. That makes it a lot better, because if it was adults, it'd be weird. Can you imagine like a 40-year-old dude, like, you know, defending his brother from like kid bullies, and he's like, hey, hold my beer, and he takes his beer out of his plastic sack that he got from a gas station, takes a dump in the bag and just dumps it on the kid. I kind of want to see that now. So not long after I moved into town, my little brother started to get into all sorts of tussles with the neighborhood kids, who generally behaved like rabid animals. We didn't quite know how to fix this because they had been there for a long time, and their parents didn't particularly care to discipline them. Unfortunately, our new house had all sorts of problems with it, one of them being a leaky toilet in the upstairs bathroom, also known as my brother's room. We kept a bucket underneath to catch all the leakage so it wouldn't ruin the floor. Well, one day, the neighbor kids were shouting inappropriate stuff up at my brother through the window. As they stood right beneath the window, a plan formed in my head. I had a bucket of poop water. Why not use the bucket of poop water for justice? So, that's what I did. I opened that window, opened that screen, and dumped that bucket of poop water all over them. Weirdly, the bullying stopped. Bro, no, I don't know what words. I keep wanting to say poo. I mean poo, not poo. C poo is okay. Crap. No crap, it stopped, man. Can you imagine this? Like, you're messing with some freaking punk. Okay, he's gonna think you're a punk. You didn't do anything, but you're a punk to him, obviously. So you're trying to mess with some punk, and then he has a bucket of poo water, and he uses that bucket of poo water, and he dumps it all over you, man. How are you not gonna be terrified? You do not mess with someone who has the means. I mean, obviously, we know the full story. We know the history of the poo bucket, but little literal poo head here doesn't. So they're scared pooless. I mean, obviously not pooless because you made sure of that, buddy. Alright, this story's called I May Be Too Big to Retaliate, but My Little Brother Isn't. Whoa, that's dark. Before launching into my petty revenge story, let me just say that I'm not particularly proud of the circumstances or the outcome regarding this revenge, but I'm somewhat impressed by how devious and vindictive my 9-year-old self was. Okay, less bad. Please forgive the long background story, but I hope that it adequately explains the situation that led me to resort to such drastic measures. Alright, my family moved to the United States from Mexico when I was 4, and we moved up to Michigan when I was 7. My mom managed to antagonize the local bully when she caught him bullying one of my sisters, and since he couldn't retaliate directly, he took his frustrations out on me. My thick Mexican accent wasn't doing me any favors either, and I was beat up a lot. Since I was the oldest kid, my mom liberally incorporated corporal punishment into my education. With so many role models, it's no wonder that my 2 sisters got in on the game too. One of my sisters was only a year younger than me, so when I responded to her physical aggression in kind, mutual aggression ensued, and we went at it until one of us yielded. One time, my mom had to pull her off me because she had bitten through my sweatshirt and t-shirt and broke some skin as well. We each gave as good as we got, so there was no need to get creative with revenge. My youngest sister, however, was another story altogether. She was 3 years younger than me, and for many years, she was the family baby. She would often punch me without any provocation, and if I retaliated in kind, she would cry at the top of her lungs and bring my mom's wrath down upon me. Ares! Destroy my enemies and my life shall be yours. Kratos, God of War. Instead of responding physically, I tried tattling on her, but my mom would half-heartedly tell her to be nicer to me and leave it at that. This continued for years, the anger of the oppressed. When I was around 8 years old, my mom unexpectedly got pregnant. I was elated to learn the baby was a boy because I had been outnumbered 2-1 by my sisters, and he was a long-awaited potential ally. Unfortunately, as is often the case, the situation had to worsen before getting better. As soon as my brother was old enough to pull himself up to a sitting position, his crib was moved into my room, and I was tasked with comforting him anytime he woke up crying at night. Oh no! For this reason, I developed a real appreciation for the plight of parents who are nursing infants. That is messed up. He did not sign up for a baby. Even though I was given this chore at night, my mom took it on herself during the day. For this reason, she looked forward to his daily naps, and one sure way to tick her off was to wake the baby during his nap. Back in the 70s, a nice stereo system was pretty much a must-have in any suburban home. In addition to being a status symbol, it was decorative and functional. Get yours today. Only 5 payments of $5.99.99.95. Our super nice stereo system and speakers were conveniently located right next to the door to my room. Given my mom's appreciation for my brother's nap time, I still wonder why she chose to have him nap in my room. This is where my revenge began. My youngest sister was obsessed with disco, and she listened to the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack on the good stereo every chance she got. My mom often warned her to keep the music down so as to not wake my brother. So it was that after yet another episode where she threw a punch and received no consequences whatsoever, I came to the realization that the best way to counter my little sister was with my little brother. Haha! My little brother napped every day at around the same time, from noon to 2, and it was almost guaranteed that my sister would be playing her music at some point during his nap. At around 11:45 a.m., shortly before my brother was about to go down for his nap, I cranked every single frequency on the stereo up to full volume. As expected, she sauntered up to the stereo right in the middle of his nap and pressed the power button without even looking at the volume. The bass reverberated throughout the house, shaking the pictures on the walls, and the music could be heard all the way actually in my mom's bedroom on the other side of the house. It was no wonder that my brother immediately woke up and started screaming. My mom was livid, and even though she had never corporally punished my sister before, she more than made up for it on that day. She dragged my sister into her bedroom, and the sounds of slaps and punches were interrupted only by my mom's screams of rage and my sister's cries of pain. Yikes. I wish I could say that I found satisfaction in my revenge, but in truth, I was horrified at the fury I'd unleashed. I curled up into a fetal position on my bed and tried to ignore my sister's cries and my mother's screams in the other room, as well as my brother's crying. I even considered fessing up to my own part in the matter, but I was too cowardly to take the blows that were being showered on my sister. From that day on, the immunity that my sister had enjoyed as the family baby was gone, and corporal punishment was incorporated into her education as well. Emily Bronte wrote, "Treachery and violence are spears pointed at both ends. They wound those who resort to them worse than their enemies." When I read that quote in high school, I knew exactly what she meant. On the other hand, my sister learned how it felt to be beaten, and she wasn't so eager to punch me anymore. My revenge was a bittersweet success. Yo, honestly, that's how it be sometimes, man. Especially back in the 70s when no one gave a crap about what psychologists said. People still don't care, I guess, but it's less of an issue now. But, hey, might not agree with it, but psychologists say that, there's not necessarily much of a benefit in beating your kids. I mean, or just smacking them or whatever. Like, I can understand playful, hey, get your stupid ass over here, let me beat the crap out of you. That's fun, give them a black eye out of love. I'm kidding, don't do that. I'm not advocating for that. But my point is that, corporal punishment isn't necessarily the most effective means of parenting and discipline. I'm more of a fan of what one would refer to as a democratic household. It encourages independence, which is important if you want to be a functional person in anything. It encourages kids to grow up learning how to be reasonable and learning to reason with others. Anyway, OP was really clever here, really good revenge. And it's really good that he was able to reflect on, the larger consequences of it, which is, I feel, one of the fundamental reasons why we share stories, so that we can extract lessons from them. But no one's gonna ever listen to them. It's gonna be like, wow, my life's changed. I'm a completely different person for 5 minutes. And you're just gonna watch something else and just completely forget about it forever until it shows up and you recommend it or something like 3 years later and you're like, wow, my life changed all over again for 5 minutes. Alright, Ski, this story's called "Won't Allow the Bartender to Turn Down the Jukebox Volume?" Okay, listen to music you didn't play. So this happened to me about 8 years ago. I finally turned 21, and my parents wanted me to shoot on their teams in the bar dart leagues. One was a Thursday night league, and one was a Friday morning league for the third shifters that started at like 8 or 9 a.m. Because I shot the night before, I was generally hung over for Friday AM league, and I am by no means a morning person in general, so I'm typically crabby for the first few hours of being awake, and on this particular day, we had to shoot at this bar that I did not care for. When we started to shoot our match, this dude on the other team decided to start playing the jukebox. Normally not a big deal, except that it was at an extremely loud volume, and it was the screamo hard rock music, and this type of music I do not care for, especially so loud, and I'm so hungover. This was also when playing from your phone was still somewhat new, and not many people realized you can skip songs and play without physically going to the jukebox. I had asked the bartender if they could turn the volume down, as there were only 9 people in the bar, 4 people per team and the bartender. The people in the bar were not talking loud enough to justify the music volume, but the dude yelled at me for asking it to be turned down, saying he paid for it, he wants to listen to it loud. Being this was their home bar and he was probably a regular there, the bartender sided with them. After the second song, I couldn't take it anymore. I signed on to the jukebox app and I loaded my phone with over $40 worth of credits and started playing the most annoying, to the other team at least, it was music I like, non-screamo music I could find. And of course, I paid paid the premium price, so my songs got to be played next. So his next song got interrupted with, wait for it, Derry, Barbie Girl. Oh yeah, you know the one. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. His teammates look at him like, what the fuck, dude? You play this? He's confused, saying like, no, I didn't even play this crap. I must have hit the wrong button. Remember, these internet jukeboxes aren't like the old ones where you hit the letter and number. So there's really no way you could have accidentally went from insert Screamo song here to Barbie Girl. My team knew what was going on because I showed them my plan. Next song was a slower country song. Then after that, some Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. I don't remember exactly. I do know it was either pop, country, anything but rock, anything but Screamo. But with each song, the guy who played the music originally just kept getting more and more mad, saying he didn't play this, while his buddies were giving him crap about his music selection, because he was the only one physically at the jukebox. Meanwhile, my team and I are all laughing and singing and having a grand time. Whatever song he played next was the straw that broke the camel's back. He slams his fist on the bar and screams at the bartender to skip this crap, and he wants his money back due to the broken jukebox that wasn't playing his songs. I calmly stopped the bartender before she skipped it and said that if you skip any of these songs, you will have to reimburse me, as I paid for them. I showed her my phone, and the bartender realized what had happened, but the dude was still confused, mad, and clueless. Now, the conversation is how I remember it. It was 8 years ago, so it's not word for word, but pretty damn close. What do you mean you played this? You didn't even go up to the jukebox. I played them from my phone. Wait, you can do that? Yep, it's a nice feature of those internet jukeboxes. You can download an app and never have to get up off your bar stool. But they should have played after mine. I played first. Yeah, but I paid extra to have them skipped. Well, how many did you play? About $40 worth of songs. Are you effing kidding me? I wanted to listen to my songs. Well, you could have, if you would have let the bartender turn down the music when I had asked. I'm hungover and don't care for what you played, but I maybe could have dealt with it if it was quieter. Well, can you move some of your songs so I can listen to mine while we shoot? I'll turn the volume down now. It doesn't work that way. I can't change the order. Well, then I'll pay more and skip your songs. Yeah, that won't work either. Your songs will go to the end of the priority play, but in front of your non-priority plays you had played earlier. This is effing stupid! When will my songs come on? I looked at the app to see how many songs I had left, and kinda guessed at about 3 minutes a song, give or take. About an hour or so after we are done shooting. Dude was so mad, cussing and complaining about the music, but if he would have just been somewhat of a decent human being, he could have gotten his music, and I would have saved $40. Edit number 1, thank you, kind stranger, for my very first award. Edit number 2, thanks for all the awards. And to those who are correcting my grammar or how I spell things or whatever, you can save your time and skip over commenting. I talk how I talk. I type how I talk. I mean, I guess if you want, feel free to keep commenting about the grammar. I just noticed he misspelled it too. Whatever floats your goat, and whatever goats your float to you too, sir. However, I have, what's the word? Aversion to things that float now. I saw, both of the new It movies, It Chapters 1 and 2, and floating in those movies, not very cool. I mean, floating is cool, but like, come on, man. It's just insensitive. YouTube comments be like, anyway, really creative revenge. I feel bad for the dude because he did learn his lesson. But hey, man, you already loaded $40 worth of. You paid $40 for the revenge, so you deserve this win. Anyway, Kiefer Sutherland, Designated Survivor, really good. He was also all right in Metal Gear Solid 5, but you can't beat David Hayter. Okay, this story's called Ask Me If I Know the Sex of the Baby When I'm Not Pregnant. I'll make you feel like crap. So, I'm chunky, but I'm not pregnant, just fat. Today at work, a woman customer asked me if I know the sex of the baby. I can think of really sad things and make myself cry. It takes a second, but I can do it. So, I do that and start crying like so others around us can hear. Then I tell her that it was a boy, but we unfortunately lost it a few days ago. The look on her face, I saw that she felt like crap, but she had nothing to say. She was literally left speechless. When she left the store, my coworkers gave me props. It was very satisfying. Maybe she'll think twice about making assumptions about strangers or commenting on their reproductive activity in the future.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.